Open it. You've been served.
I was working from home when my phone lit up with her message. Rachel had been overseas for 7 days, supposedly on a girls' trip with coworkers. The text came through cheerful and casual, almost too cheerful. Having an amazing time here. We decided to extend another 2 weeks. That's cool with you, right? This city is incredible, miss you. I read it twice, then stared at the screen for 30 solid seconds before responding. Hope you and Mark are enjoying yourselves. Divorce papers will be waiting for your return. Sent. Then I systematically blocked her number and every social media platform she had. Email, messaging apps, everything. My hands stayed completely steady throughout. No shaking, no second thoughts whatsoever. I'd had 3 full weeks to prepare for this exact moment. 3 weeks earlier, I'd noticed an odd charge on our shared credit card. $400 at some boutique hotel downtown. We live 30 minutes from there, maybe less. When I asked about it, she claimed it was for a company event, some corporate retreat. Funny thing was, her company posts everything on their website. I checked. No retreat that weekend at all. Then came the behavioral changes. Phone constantly face down on surfaces, taking calls in the other room, smiling at her screen when she thought I wasn't looking. Classic signs, right? But I'm not the jealous type by nature. I needed actual proof before making accusations, so I checked our phone records online since I'm the primary account holder. One number showed up constantly at all hours. Late nights, early mornings, weekends. I did a reverse lookup on the number. Chris Brennan worked in her office sales department. I didn't confront her immediately, not yet. Instead, I logged into our cloud storage account. Her phone backed up automatically, including deleted messages. Not so deleted when they're sitting right there in the cloud for anyone to access. I spent an entire Saturday reading through months of conversations while she was supposedly at the gym. The messages were detailed and explicit. Plans to meet up at various locations, complaints about me and our marriage, how I was boring and predictable, didn't excite her anymore. How Mark made her feel alive and appreciated. How they'd been seeing each other for 6 months straight. 6 months, half a year of lies. Then came her brilliant plan for a trip to Paris. But here's the thing she told me. It was with Jennifer, Sarah, and Emma from her office. I knew Jennifer pretty well. We'd had dinner with her and her spouse twice before, so I did something simple and effective. I sent Jennifer a casual text. Hope you girls are having fun in Paris. Send pics when you can. Her response came back in 5 minutes flat. Paris? I'm in Texas visiting family. What are you talking about? That's when I knew for certain she wasn't with the girls. She was with Mark, and everything she told me was complete fabrication. I called a lawyer that same day. Tuesday afternoon, I was sitting in Stephen Mitchell's office, laying out everything I had. Credit card statements, text records, the cloud backup messages, everything. The man had excellent reviews and seemed competent. This is pretty straightforward, he said, flipping through the papers methodically. With this evidence, we can move fast. Does she know you know anything? Not yet. Good. Keep it that way for now. Let me file the papers. We'll have everything ready, and you can serve her when she gets back from her trip. I paid his retainer on the spot. $2,000, which hurt my finances, but I'd been saving separately. I work as a project coordinator for a construction company, making $43,000 a year. Not much compared to some people, but I'd been careful with money. Had about $9,000 in a separate account she didn't know existed. Money I'd been setting aside for a down payment on a house someday. That dream was dead now, but at least I had financial options and flexibility. The week she left for Paris with the supposed girls, I moved methodically and deliberately. Changed the password on our Netflix account. Small detail, but it would annoy her eventually. Separated our finances completely, opened a new checking account at a different bank, and had my paycheck rerouted there. Took my name off the lease for our apartment when it came up for renewal next month. The landlord was understanding when I explained the situation briefly. Told him I'd be moving out soon. I even called her parents before the trip ended. Didn't tell them everything specific, just that we were having serious problems, and I wanted them to hear it from me first before the explosion happened. They seemed concerned, but didn't push too hard for details. They would find out soon enough anyway. By the time she sent that text about extending her trip, I was completely ready. The papers were filed with the court. A process server was standing by, waiting for instructions. Her perfect little affair was about to become everyone's business. My phone started ringing 15 minutes after I sent my response. Her parents calling repeatedly. I let everything go to voicemail. Then her mom called again, And again, more insistently. I blocked them too, along with her. An hour later, someone was knocking on my apartment door. I looked through the peephole carefully. Her father, Thomas Caldwell, standing there looking absolutely furious. I opened the door, but didn't invite him inside. "What the hell is going on?" he demanded loudly. "Your wife is in Paris having a complete breakdown because you sent her some insane text about divorce. What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking she's not in Paris with her girlfriends," I said calmly and evenly. "She's there with Mark Davidson from her office. They've been having an affair for 6 months. She lied about the entire trip." His face went completely blank for a moment. "That's not true. That can't be true." "It is true. I have the messages, the hotel receipts, phone records, everything. She lied to you. She lied to me. She lied to everyone. And now she's panicking because she got caught red-handed. You can't just throw away a marriage over some misunderstanding like this." "It's not a misunderstanding at all. It's a choice she made multiple times over half a year. Every text, every meetup, every lie." He tried to argue more, but I was done with the conversation. "I'm not discussing this with you. The papers are filed with the court. She'll get served when she comes back. Have a good night." I closed the door firmly. He stood there for a minute. Then I heard his footsteps fade away down the hall. My phone was blowing up now with activity. Texts from her friends, her brother, people I barely knew. Everyone wanted to know what was happening, demanding explanations. I ignored all of it completely. Instead, I poured myself a drink, sat on the couch, put on a game, and I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace. Genuine, actual peace. She'd made her choice over and over. Now she was going to live with all the consequences. The next morning, I woke up to silence. No frantic calls, no emergency texts flooding in. She must have figured out I blocked her everywhere. Good. I made coffee and checked my email. Stephen had sent over the draft of the divorce petition for my review. Irreconcilable differences, division of assets, the whole standard thing. I read through it twice carefully, made a few notes, and sent it back with my approval. My phone rang around mid-morning. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. "Hello? You absolute coward." It was her calling from some international number. "You block me everywhere? Are you serious right now?" "Completely serious. I can't believe you'd accuse me of cheating. I'm in Paris with my friends, and you're having some kind of paranoid breakdown back there." "You're in Paris with Mark. Jennifer's in Texas visiting family. Sarah's home with her kids. Emma never left town." "Want me to keep going with the others?" Silence on the other end. "Yeah, I called them all. Took me about 10 minutes to confirm you lied about everything. You lied to everyone, so cut the act now." "Fine." Her voice changed completely, got quieter and more controlled. "Fine. Yes, Mark is here with me, but it's not what you think at all. We're just friends. He had a work trip and I tagged along. That's it. Nothing happened. Friends don't book hotel rooms together. Friends don't send messages about how amazing the other person makes them feel. Friends don't complain endlessly about their boring husband who doesn't understand them. Friends don't plan secret romantic trips together. You read my messages?" She sounded genuinely horrified, like I was the one who'd done something wrong here. Every single one of them. The cloud backup is a wonderful thing for evidence. 6 months of proof, the late-night calls, that hotel downtown, all of it documented. She started crying. The same fake crying she'd used before when she wanted something from me. "Please, just listen to me. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. We can fix this. We can work through it together." "No, we can't fix anything." "Yes, we can. We'll go to counseling. We'll work through it." "I'm not interested in working through anything with you. I already filed for divorce. You'll be served when you get back to the country. You can't do this to me. We can go to counseling. We can save this." "I'm not interested. You chose this path. You wanted excitement and adventure. Congratulations. Now you get to be excited about finding a new place to live. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Not my problem anymore. Maybe Mark has a spare room available." I hung up and blocked that number too. Work was strange that day. I did my job mechanically, reviewed some project timelines, sent a few emails, attended a meeting. Nobody knew anything yet about what was happening. My boss, Richard Marsh, stopped by my desk around lunch hour. "You good? You seem off today." "Personal stuff. I'll be fine." "All right, let me know if you need anything at all." I appreciated that Richard was decent about it. Didn't pry, didn't push for details, just offered support and moved on professionally. That evening, I drove to my buddy Trevor's place. He'd been my friend since college days, one of the few people I actually trusted completely. His wife, Nicole, answered the door with a warm smile. "Hey, come in. Trevor's in the garage working on something." I found him working on his motorcycle, hands covered in grease and oil. He looked up when I walked in. "What's going on? You look serious." "Getting divorced." He put down his wrench immediately. "What?" I told him everything from start to finish. The affair, the fake Paris trip, the messages, the planning, everything. He listened without interrupting once, which I really appreciated. When I finished, he just shook his head slowly. "Man, I'm sorry. That's absolutely brutal." "It is what it is at this point. You need anything? Place to stay? Want to grab a drink tonight?" "I'm good. Just wanted to tell someone who wouldn't try to talk me out of it." He nodded firmly. "You're doing the right thing. Anyone who'd pull something like that doesn't deserve a second chance. Period." Nicole made us dinner that night. We didn't talk much about the situation after that. Just watched some football and hung out like normal. It felt normal and comfortable, which I desperately needed. By Thursday, the news was spreading through various circles. Her co-workers started finding out about the situation. Someone from her office, a guy named Daniel I'd met once at a company party, sent me a direct message. "Hey man, heard what happened. Just want you to know a lot of us had no idea about Mark and your wife. That's seriously messed up. If you need anything, let me know." I thanked him for reaching out. Turns out their relationship was an open secret at the office for months. People suspected something was going on, but nobody said anything directly. Corporate politics at work. Don't get involved in other people's drama. But now it wasn't just drama anymore. It was a full-blown mess and scandal. And Mark was starting to feel the real heat from it. I did some digging online. Turns out their company had a strict policy about relationships between employees. You had to disclose them to HR officially. They hadn't disclosed anything, which meant they'd been violating company policy for months on end. I sent an anonymous email to their HR department, attached screenshots of the most damning messages. Didn't sign my name, didn't make it personal. Just forwarded the evidence and let them handle it according to their policies. Friday afternoon, I got a call from yet another unknown number. Different one this time, I answered cautiously. "Stop what you're doing right now." It was Mark, and his voice was shaking noticeably. "Who is this?" "You know exactly who this is. Stop sending stuff to our company. This is between you and your wife. Leave me out of it." "Wrong. You made it my business when you decided to sleep with her. Now you're dealing with the consequences of your actions. I could lose my job over this. Do you understand that? Good. Excellent, actually. Maybe next time you'll think twice before getting involved with a married woman. You're being vindictive and petty about this." "No, I'm being fair and honest. You both lied repeatedly. You both cheated consistently. You both get to face what comes next. Don't call me again." I hung up and blocked that number immediately. That weekend, I started packing up my belongings. The apartment lease was in both our names, but I'd already talked to the landlord about the situation. I'd be out by the end of the month completely. Found a smaller place across town, 1 bedroom, cheaper rent, actually closer to work. It wasn't much to look at, but it was mine alone. Saturday night, I was boxing up books when someone knocked on the door firmly. I checked the peephole carefully. Her brother, Jason. I opened the door partway. "What do you want?" "We need to talk about this situation." "No, we don't need to talk. Look, I get you're upset, but she's my sister. She's falling apart over there in Paris. Can't you just hear her out when she gets back? Just listen?" She had 6 months to tell me the truth. She chose not to repeatedly. Now she gets to deal with the consequences. People make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. A mistake is forgetting to pick up milk from the store. This was a choice. Every text message, every meetup, every lie she told. All choices. He tried to argue more, but I wasn't interested in debating. I don't owe her anything anymore. Not my time, not my forgiveness, nothing. She destroyed this marriage with her choices. I'm just making it official, legally. I closed the door while he was still talking. Sunday, I went to the gym and worked out hard, lifted weights, ran a few miles, cleared my head completely. When I got back, there was a note taped to my door. "Please call me. We need to talk. I'm coming home early." I crumpled it up and threw it in the trash without a second thought. She'd be home Tuesday. The process server was ready and waiting. Her fantasy trip was about to end, and the real consequences were just beginning. I didn't feel angry anymore, just resolute and determined. She wanted to play games with our marriage, fine, but I wasn't playing anymore. I was ending it permanently. Tuesday came faster than I expected it to. I took the day off work, told Richard I had some personal business to handle. He didn't ask any questions about it. I spent the morning finishing the packing. Most of my stuff was already in boxes stacked against walls. The apartment looked hollow and empty, stripped of anything that mattered to me. I'd taken my clothes, my books, my tools, left the furniture behind. None of it meant anything anyway. Around 2 p.m, I heard a key in the lock. The door opened slowly, and there she stood, suitcase in hand, looking absolutely exhausted. Her eyes were red and puffy, makeup smeared across her face. She'd been crying on the plane, probably for hours. She saw me sitting on the couch and froze completely in place. "You're here. This is still my apartment for another 2 weeks. After that, it's all yours to deal with." She dropped her suitcase heavily and walked toward me slowly. "Please, can we just talk? Really talk about this?" "There's nothing to talk about." "Yes, there is. I made a terrible mistake. I know that now. But we can fix this. We can go to therapy, work through it together." "You keep saying that word, we. There is no we anymore." She sat down on the other end of the couch, trying hard to compose herself. "I love you. I never stopped loving you." Funny way of showing it these past 6 months. I got confused. Mark paid attention to me, made me feel special and appreciated, but it didn't mean anything real. A 6-month distraction, that's some serious dedication. Her face twisted in frustration. "Why are you being so cruel about this?" "Cruel? You lied to everyone in your life, your parents, your friends, me. You took money from our joint account to fund your affair. You booked hotels, sent messages about how boring I was, planned secret trips, and somehow I'm the one being cruel?" "I didn't mean those things I said about you." "Yes, you did. Own it for once. You meant every word. You just didn't expect to get caught doing it." She tried a different approach, moved closer, put her hand on my arm gently. "I miss you. I miss us. Don't you miss what we had together?" I moved my arm away from her touch. "What we had died 6 months ago when you decided Mark was more interesting than your marriage vows." "It's over with him. Completely over. I told him we're done." "Good for you. Doesn't change anything between us." She stood up, frustrated now and angry. "So that's it? You're just going to throw away 5 years of marriage like it meant nothing?" "I'm not throwing anything away. You already did that yourself." The doorbell rang at that exact moment. Perfect timing. I got up and answered it. A woman in her 40s stood there with a clipboard and an envelope. "Delivery for Rachel Caldwell." My wife appeared behind me curiously. "That's me." The woman handed her the envelope professionally. "You've been served. Have a good day." She walked away down the hall. My wife stared at the envelope like it was a bomb about to explode. Her hands were visibly shaking. "Open it," I said calmly. She did, slowly. Her hands trembled as she read through the entire divorce petition carefully. "You're serious about this? Actually serious? Completely serious. What about the apartment, our stuff, everything we built?" "Keep the furniture. I already moved my things out. Lease is in both our names until next month. Then you can renew it solo or find somewhere else. Up to you entirely." "Where are you going to live?" "Already got a place lined up. 1 bedroom across town, moving in this weekend." She looked around the apartment slowly, finally realizing how empty it was. All my personal belongings gone. "You planned all of this while I was gone?" "Everything? Had plenty of time. You extended your trip, remember? Gave me extra days?" Her phone buzzed loudly in her pocket. She checked it and her face went pale white. "What now?" "I got fired. They just sent the email." I didn't say anything, just watched her process it. "Did you do this? Did you tell my company about Mark and me?" "Someone informed HR that you were violating company policy. Relationships between employees need to be disclosed officially. You didn't disclose it. That's on you, not me. You ruined my career. My entire career. No, you did that yourself. I just made sure the right people knew what was happening." She threw her phone across the room hard. It hit the wall, and the screen cracked loudly. "I have nothing now. No job. No husband. Nothing left. Should have thought about that before you got on a plane to Paris with your coworker. I hate you. That's fine with me. Makes the divorce easier for both of us." She grabbed her suitcase angrily and stormed into the bedroom. I heard her crying in there, throwing things around violently. I didn't care anymore. My phone buzzed. Text from Steven, my lawyer. "Process server confirmed delivery. We're on track. Hearing scheduled for 6 weeks from now. She has 20 days to respond." I texted back a simple thanks. An hour later, her parents showed up at the door. This time, both of them together. Her mother, Linda, looked like she'd been crying for hours. Her father, Thomas, looked ready to fight someone. I opened the door but didn't let them inside the apartment. "Our daughter is in there having a breakdown," Linda said desperately. "What did you do to her?" "I divorced her for cheating on me repeatedly. That's what I did." "She made a mistake. People make mistakes. 6 months isn't a mistake. That's a deliberate pattern of behavior." Thomas stepped forward aggressively. "You need to be reasonable about this. Work it out like adults. Go to counseling." "I'm not interested in counseling with someone who lied to my face for half a year. Marriage is about forgiveness and working through problems. Marriage is also about fidelity and honesty. She broke both of those. We're done." Linda tried a softer approach, her voice breaking. "Please, just think about this carefully. She loves you. She's sorry for what she did. Can't you give her another chance?" "No." "Why not? Just tell me why." "Because I don't trust her anymore. I'll never trust her again, and I'm not spending the rest of my life wondering if she's telling the truth or planning her next affair." Thomas's face turned bright red with anger. "You're being selfish and unreasonable." "I'm being smart and protective. Your daughter destroyed this marriage with her choices. I'm just making it legal." I closed the door firmly. They knocked several more times, increasingly desperate. I ignored all of it. Eventually, they left. That evening, she came out of the bedroom. Her eyes were swollen badly, face blotchy and red. She looked completely broken. "Can I ask you something?" "What?" "Did you ever love me? At all?" "I did, until you chose someone else over me." "I never chose him over you." "Yes, you did. Every time you texted him late at night, every time you lied about where you were going, every time you deleted a message, you chose him repeatedly." She sat down on the floor, back against the wall, looking defeated. "I don't know what to do now. Where do I even go?" "Figure it out. You're an adult." "Where am I supposed to go? I don't have a job anymore." "Your parents have a house. Stay there or find a roommate, not my problem to solve." "You're really not going to help me at all?" "Help you? After everything you did? Absolutely not." She looked at me with something like disbelief in her eyes. "You've changed completely. You're not the person I married." "You're right about that. I'm not. The person you married would have probably taken you back eventually, would have believed your excuses, and tried to make it work. But that person doesn't exist anymore. You eliminated him." I grabbed my jacket and keys from the counter. "I'm leaving now. I'll be back tomorrow to get the rest of my boxes. Don't be here when I come." I walked out without looking back. I drove to Trevor's place. He and Nicole took one look at my face and knew immediately. "It's done," I said. "Good," Trevor replied firmly. "You want a drink?" "Yeah, I do." We sat in his garage, drinking beer and not saying much. Sometimes that's all you need. Just someone who gets it without having to explain everything. By the time I left, it was past midnight. I drove to a cheap hotel near my new apartment and crashed there for the night. The next morning, I went back to the apartment. She was gone. Left a note on the counter. "I hope you're happy. You destroyed everything we had." I crumpled it up and threw it in the trash bin. Then I loaded the last of my boxes into my truck and drove away without looking back once. The new apartment was smaller, but it was mine. 1 bedroom, decent kitchen, parking spot included. I spent the first weekend setting everything up properly. Bed, couch, TV, the basics. Nothing fancy or expensive. But I didn't need fancy. I needed peace and quiet. Monday morning, I was back at work. Richard noticed I seemed lighter somehow. Personal stuff sorted out? Getting there. "Good. We've got the Riverside project kicking off next week. Need you on point for that one." Work was a welcome distraction from everything. Timelines, budgets, contractor meetings, simple problems with clear solutions. Nothing like my personal life had been. Around lunch, my phone rang. Unknown number again. I answered. "Stop dodging me." It was Mark again, different number entirely. "How many phones do you have?" "I lost my job because of you. My career is completely destroyed." "Your career is destroyed because you couldn't keep it in your pants. Don't blame me for your choices." "She told me you two were practically separated, that the marriage was already over, that you hadn't been together in months." I laughed. Genuine, actual laughter. "And you believe that? That's the classic line, man. She played you completely." "What?" "We weren't separated. We weren't having any problems at all. Everything was fine until you showed up. She lied to you the exact same way she lied to me." Silence on the other end for several seconds. Think about it carefully. If she'd lie to her husband of 5 years, why wouldn't she lie to you? You were just convenient for her. That's not true. Believe whatever helps you sleep at night, but we're done here. Don't call again. I blocked the number. That evening at Target buying groceries, I ran into Jennifer. She looked uncomfortable when she saw me. Hey, heard what happened with everything. I'm really sorry. Not your fault at all. I feel terrible. She used my name to cover up her trip. I had no idea she was doing that. I know. That's why I texted you to check the story. A lot of people at the office are talking about it now. Mark got fired. Your wife too. It's a whole mess. Actions have consequences. For what it's worth, I think you handled it the right way. She didn't deserve a second chance after all that. I appreciated her saying that, honestly. We talked for a few more minutes, then went our separate ways. Wednesday, Stephen called with an update. She filed her response to the divorce petition, wants to contest it. On what grounds? She's claiming you abandoned the marriage, that you refused counseling, basically trying to make herself look like the sufferer in all this. Can she actually do that? She can try, but with the evidence we have, it won't work. Infidelity is pretty cut and dry. Judge won't care that you didn't want to go to therapy after she cheated for 6 months. Good. One other thing, she's asking for spousal support. I almost dropped my phone. Are you kidding me? She claims she lost her job because of the divorce and needs financial assistance while she gets back on her feet. She lost her job because she violated company policy. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. I know, we'll fight it hard. Don't worry, but be prepared. She's going to make this as difficult as possible. Let her try. Friday, Trevor invited me to a cookout at his place. Small thing, just a few friends from college. I almost said no, but figured I should get out of the apartment. When I got there, Nicole pulled me aside immediately. Your ex-wife showed up at my work yesterday. What? She came to the clinic, asked to talk to me, wanted me to convince you to drop the divorce? What did you tell her? I told her to leave immediately, that she had no business coming to my workplace. She started crying, said she made a mistake, and you won't listen to her. I won't listen. Good. She's manipulative. I never liked her much, but I kept my mouth shut because you seemed happy. We rejoined the group. Trevor was grilling burgers and hot dogs. A couple of his buddies from work were there. Normal conversation, normal evening. Nobody brought up the divorce unless I did. Around 9, I got a text from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I opened it. It was her. I know you blocked me everywhere, but I need to tell you something important. I'm pregnant. My stomach dropped. I stared at the message for a solid minute, not moving. Then I did the math carefully in my head. We hadn't been intimate in almost 2 months. Not since early July. It was late September now. I texted back from Trevor's phone. How far along are you? 8 weeks. 8 weeks. That would put conception around the late July, early August. Right when she started pulling away from me emotionally. Right when the affair was in full swing. I called Stephen immediately, stepped outside to the backyard where it was quiet. She just told me she's pregnant. Is it yours? Impossible. We haven't been together in 2 months. Timeline doesn't match at all. Then it's probably his. Mark's? That's exactly what I'm thinking. This complicates things slightly. If she tries to claim it's yours, we'll need a paternity test. But that won't happen until after the baby's born. Can she use this to delay the divorce? She might try, but pregnancy doesn't stop divorce proceedings automatically. We keep moving forward. Back inside, Trevor noticed my face. What happened? She says she's pregnant. His eyes went wide. Is it yours? No, timeline doesn't work at all. Has to be Mark's. Man, that's absolutely insane. Nicole shook her head firmly. She's going to try to use that baby to manipulate you emotionally. Don't fall for it. I won't. Saturday morning, I got another text from her number. We need to talk about the baby. This changes everything between us. I responded simply, no, it doesn't change anything. You're having Mark's baby. That's between you two. Has nothing to do with me. How do you know it's not yours? Because I can count. And because we both know the truth. Stop trying to manipulate me. I'm not manipulating you. I'm trying to save our marriage. Our marriage ended when you got on that plane to Paris. The baby just confirms you moved on completely. Enjoy your new life. I blocked that number too. Sunday, I went for a long drive to clear my head. Needed to think. Ended up at a lake about an hour outside the city, sat on a bench, watched the water, thought about everything that had happened over the past few months. 5 years of marriage gone, job lost, apartment gone, wife pregnant with another man's kid. It should have felt worse than it did. But honestly, I felt free. No more wondering where she was. No more checking my phone expecting bad news. Just me, living my life on my terms. Richard texted. Heard through the grapevine what you're dealing with. If you need extra time off or anything, let me know. You're doing good work and we've got your back. I texted back my thanks. It was strange. People I barely knew were more supportive than my own wife had been. 2 weeks passed relatively quickly. The divorce was moving forward steadily. Stephen said we'd have a hearing date soon, probably another month out. In the meantime, life kept happening. I heard through mutual friends she'd moved back in with her parents. Thomas and Linda weren't thrilled about it. Apparently, having their adult daughter back home, unemployed and pregnant with someone else's kid while still married to me, not exactly the life they'd imagined for her. Mark had vanished completely. Someone told me he'd moved to another state, took a job in Arizona or New Mexico, something like that. Ran away from the mess he'd helped create. Her social circle was crumbling fast. Sarah stopped talking to her after finding out she'd used her name as part of the Paris lie. Emma did the same. Jennifer wanted nothing to do with her anymore. Work was going well for me. The Riverside project was on schedule. Richard had me training a new hire, showing him the ropes. Normal, productive stuff that made sense. The hearing came early November. Cold Tuesday morning, I met Stephen at the courthouse. She was there with her lawyer, some guy in an expensive suit her parents probably paid for. We sat in different sections, didn't make eye contact at all. The judge reviewed the case, asked a few questions. Her lawyer tried to paint me as unreasonable, unwilling to work on the marriage. Stephen shut that down quickly with all the evidence. Text messages, hotel receipts, phone records, everything. The judge wasn't impressed with her claims. Infidelity is grounds for divorce. I'm granting the petition. Assets will be split according to state law. No spousal support awarded. Case closed. Her lawyer tried to object, but the judge was done. Entire thing took maybe 20 minutes total. Outside the courthouse, she tried to approach me. Her lawyer stopped her physically. Don't. It's over. She looked at me one last time. I didn't say anything, just walked to my truck and drove away. Stephen called that afternoon. Congratulations, you're officially divorced. Thanks for everything you did. No problem. You had a solid case with evidence, made my job easy. I hung up and sat in my apartment for a while, thought about what came next. The answer was simple, whatever I wanted. No more lies, no more drama, just forward. That evening, Trevor and Nicole took me out to celebrate. We went to a steakhouse, had a good meal, laughed about stupid stuff, normal life returning. You seem different, Nicole said. Lighter somehow. I feel lighter. Good. You deserve to be happy. I raised my glass. To new beginnings. They clinked their glasses against mine, and for the first time in a long time, I believed it. 3 months after the divorce, I was settling into a routine. Work was good. Got a promotion, actually. Supervisor position with a decent raise. Richard said I'd earned it. I heard she'd had the baby, a boy. Mark came back for the birth, apparently. Whether they stayed together, I didn't know and didn't care. That chapter of my life was closed permanently. One Saturday in February, I was at the grocery store when I saw her. She was in produce, looking tired. The baby was in a carrier on her chest. She saw me and froze. I nodded, kept walking, but she followed me to the checkout line. Can we talk? Just for a minute? I sighed. What do you want? I wanted to say I'm sorry for everything I did. I destroyed something good and I regret it every day. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? I don't. That we can be friends? We can't. It's done. I know, I just needed you to know that I realized what I lost. You didn't lose anything. You threw it away deliberately. There's a difference. She looked down at the baby. He's not Mark's, you know. Mark left when I was 6 months pregnant. Couldn't handle it. Not my problem. I'm living with my parents, working part-time at a call center. It's not the life I wanted. Then you shouldn't have cheated. She started crying. A few people in line glanced over. I didn't care. I'm not trying to upset you, I said. But I'm not going to comfort you either. You made your choices. Now you live with them. I paid for my groceries and walked out. A few weeks later, I started dating someone. Amanda, a project manager from a different company I'd met at a conference. Nothing serious yet, just getting to know each other. But it felt good, easy. No games, no lies. She asked about my ex once. I told her the short version. That's rough, but you handled it well. I did what I had to do. Most people would have tried working it out, stayed miserable. Not me. Life's too short. Looking back now, I don't regret any of it. Not marrying her, not trusting her, not even the pain of the divorce. It taught me something valuable. Know your worth. Set boundaries. And when someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. She wanted excitement. She got consequences. I wanted peace. And I found it.